I had thought that the coronavirus was going to bring some sort of unity to the world, really, but especially in America, because these divisions that have been harboring in the States for the last 50 years, pretty much post 1960s, I thought that with this deadly virus that we would have something of unity, whether it's with our families and friends or with our neighbors. There'd be a little more care, and I've seen that.
Mm.
But instead, what's happening is there's political arguments over whether or not to wear a mask or whether or not you should even be worried about the coronavirus. I was at Walmart a couple days ago. I was having my grocery shopping, and this old man comes up to me and my sister, who are wearing masks like we should, and this guy is like, "Don't buy into the Kool-Aid. You're just listening to what the media is telling you. You're too scared to think." And he was going on about how we shouldn't be wearing masks. Masks it's just giving you false hope that you're not going to get it. And he's talking about all this nonsense about how we're guinea pigs, and this guy was insane. I don't know why he even came up to me and talked to me like he did, but it's just like the fact that there's a political argument about wearing masks, which literally all it does is help even just a little bit, you know?
Yeah,
How much does it protect you in total? Who knows? But it helps, right?
yeah.
It's like you wear a helmet when you're going out to ride on a motorcycle. Is it going to protect you if you crash into a tree? Maybe. Hopefully. It's going to help a little bit. It's going to help more than if you don't, right? Somebody coughs in your face when you're wearing a mask. It'll cover it a little bit. It might not cover it completely, right?
Well, there's only a 5% chance you'll contract the virus if you're wearing a mask.
Really. And what is it if you don't wear a mask?
I don't know. I think it depends on a lot of variables, but I just saw that if you're speaking to a person right in front of you, which is the way most people contract the virus, and you're wearing a mask, you only have a 5% chance of contracting the virus. The other ways you could theoretically get it is if a particle lands in your eye, but that's pretty unlikely. Like the way most people get it is through particles, and then you breathe it in, so it goes to like the back of your throat. And that's how you're going to get it. So if you're wearing a mask and you're covering those areas, then it's very unlikely.
Hmm. See, I didn't know that. But that's the thing that I'm really agitated about with the coronavirus. It's like what should bring unity has only divided the country more. And now, the last couple of months, we're starting to reopen again. And understand economically why that makes sense. But
Mm.
it's, at certain points, certain parts of the country, the virus is continuing to spread. So it seems like my biggest issue with this is that we have these stay-at-home orders. We're promoting social distancing. Really, the last 3 months or so, we've been practicing social distancing and not going out as much as we need to. Staying at home. Well, now it seems like the virus. This didn't do jack shit. Social distancing. It didn't do much because the cases continue to spread. There's about 20,000 cases a day. Death tolls continue to rise. So it looks like our politicians have kind of given up on it, kind of given up on the social distancing. It failed. And so we're just going to reopen, spread it even more. More people contract it, more people die. But it's okay because our economy will be okay. And that's where I have a problem with it. I do think that we should be concerned about the economy to an extent. But when it comes to saving lives and reducing the spread, our problem is that our messaging from the very beginning has been very wonky. First, it was just a common cold, not very infectious. Now, it's continued to spread, it's continued to kill people. But now that it's just spreading, even with social distancing orders, it just seems like the government's kind of given up on it. And it's just saying, well, fuck it. We're just going to go back to the way things were. And those who die are those who die.
Yeah, I agree. It's like, what again? It's the question of when does profit come before human life? And at the end of the day, money and monetary value and an economic system are all things that we have created to better society, but then it hurts us in many ways, like you were just saying. So I think, like personally, when it comes down to it, if there's a global pandemic going on and thousands upon thousands upon thousands of Americans are dying, then instead of trying to reopen the economy, what a government should do, and this is what Canada is doing, by the way, is they should keep people inside, but they should be giving out substantial loans and money to people so that the economy doesn't tank and they can still come out of this free. Like no one expected this to happen, but you have to respond justly. And opening up early because the economy is failing and just allowing more people to die probably isn't the best thing you should do. What I think you should probably do is you should probably keep people inside, keep them safe, and give them money to survive off of because we have it. We have the money. So yeah, like you said, I don't really get it, but hopefully when we're older, right, we can make some policy and change things for the better.
Yeah. I just think that it's been a catastrophic failure on so many ends of it. You're talking about if we I think maybe if we had known everything that we know now, then do you think we still would have social distanced? I don't know. But that doesn't if we had had the proper leadership to say, okay, as much as this sucks, if we stay at home for 3 months, the spread of the virus will maybe not necessarily die off, but it'll significantly reduce the spread of the virus. So we're just going to stay at home for 8 to 10 weeks. We'll go back out slowly. But instead, just very abruptly, hell, I was in California when things started to shut down completely. And now where we are where we are now, where we're just opening things up because people are tired of staying at home and politicians are tired of the economy just continuing to just fucking get wrecked.
Yeah. I think a really good example of a country that responded and handled it well was what South Korea did,
Yeah.
where there was widespread testing and then they fought the virus in pockets. So they would see where there was a pocket of, many new cases and they would isolate those people and then they would keep doing that. And now I think they're basically reopened. But if I think in retrospect, what we should have done is aggressively tested and hit the virus earlier and maybe even shut down our borders earlier. But I think that our kind of 2 week period of late response where the president and his administration was calling this thing a hoax from China, I think that's really where it killed us. And even now, like I think our testing was too late. I think there's a lot of things that we did wrong, which is why there's so many people were killed in this country.
Yeah. Well, all we can do is hope for the best with it. Hope that we make it out okay. Um, it's not going away anytime soon. It's going to be around here for a while. In fact, it might be a seasonal flu, what they say. Thanks for watching this clip from the Everything Under the Sun podcast. If you want to listen to the full podcast, you can go to Spotify, Apple Podcast, or anywhere else you get your podcast. To watch more segments from the show, you can follow our Instagram page, our Facebook page, or subscribe to our YouTube channel at Everything Under the Sun.